And here we are. So we are right. I have myself, kind of pop out right in the middle section of my base. So this is the middle section of my base. You haven't seen it yet, but now we're here. But since we're here, I'll give you a quick tour of, because it's pretty much built up for the time being, and now I'm starting to expand the area. So similarly to the way I described the Ocean Monument farm, the Guardian farm from my last video, and from the Squid Ink farm from just a moment ago, this base is no different. I built it up from the inside, and now I'm starting to expand outward. We have the Nether portal, and this is really just a 2-wing storage system, 2 floors, and there's a load chest here. So I have an elevator that goes up and then works its way around. It's just a hopper system. It's not a water system. It's just no mine carts, no nothing. Just this traditional hopper sorting system that flows items all the way throughout both sides. You said, got a little bit of everything down here, starting with your common blocks, stones, wood, earthy, organic glass in there because it's near the sand. Second level, redstone, and this is where, after the redstone, I start to lose, I had some fillers, and I'll explain these two in a moment, but I had the common things, and then to finish the storage system and get it functional, I had to fill out some areas, so I really had to get creative with what to put in some of the spaces where I didn't have things that I knew I needed. But anyway, the wool, that's not actually wool, the string, this is actually bone blocks, it's not just regular bones. Rockets, everything to make rockets, leather. This is the coal block. Here's where the filler comes in. So after I had filled out everything else, I got the geode items. I used tinted glass a lot, so I made a specific spot for tinted glass. And these are actually very plentiful in the end as well, because of the pack that we have that changes the end. Some of those biomes have all 4 variants of dead coral. Dead coral can be cool in a dead landscape, and part of the reason why I decided to use it as filler is because I think I'm going to wind up making some of that landscape that I talked about over at the squid farm, like a combination of these blocks. So it'll probably be like a deady, like a grayish, texture-y floor in that area. So I needed them anyway, so I filled out some of these spaces. All these redstone items, you got this, you got your basalt items here. Here's another filler. I get a lot of bricks from my original starter base location because I had a nice mason there. Kelp blocks, I love kelp blocks, and threw those here as well. Heading to the other side, we get the ores, iron, gems, like all the gems, all the valuables are pretty much over here. As you can see, different variants, because again, collecting with a lot of silk touch, you just throw them into the system and accumulate them here. Nether. So, there's definitely, theme, they're grouped together where it makes sense. Bamboo block, the new block in the latest update, because as you'll see on the other side, take a brief interlude from the storage wing and show that I have pretty simple, straightforward bamboo farm that takes up both sides. This operates all the time that I'm here and stays pretty full. I actually cleared them out recently because I used a whole bunch of bamboo on a creeper farm build that I will show in a future video. But for the time being, now they're accumulating pretty high again, and they can be used for sticks or bamboos for other builds. Fuel if I'm really down into it, but I have so much coal, pretty much never would need that. And the second floor we round out with, like I said, not a lot right now, but when I have the time, I'm going to go back to the end and make a whole bunch of crying obsidian, because I know I'm going to use a lot of it in several builds. Obsidian, here's another one of the dead corals. Diamonds, and this is deep dark items. Now the deep dark, funny enough, like the deep dark items, I only put 2 chests for because I did get a lot of skulk sensors by clearing out, and obviously you get plenty of skulk. But for as much veins and of the specialty items, the shriekers and the catalysts, I decided just to leave them in the barrels because I didn't need their own storage. And then here we have my storage for the C blocks. Then I started to lose like things to do. I threw ice for whatever, and I'm like, I got ice, I got the pointy things, slime and snow. I even started collecting snow, moss, and the honeycomb rails, shroom lights, end lights, and the end blocks. And here's one more of the fillers, and the 4th and final dead coral. That's my storage. Those are the items that I flow through the storage system and then I plan to use for builds in the future. And the last but not least is the traditional, you know, put your items in here, you know, let them accumulate. There's a small clock up here and a powered set of rails that I'll just, you know, send it off. It's going to only run once, won't drop anything down and come back and stop. But if it did have a bunch of items, it would continually go back and forth and stop here when it was empty. And obviously, I can, you know, flick the levers and collect the stored experience if I ever got desperate for experience. Right now, they're collecting experience, and I haven't touched them for quite a while. All the items feed into the chest. Those smelting, big smelter system. Fuel, not the 90s alt rock band, just fuel, mostly coal. You can put any of your fuel in here, but all of them are filled with coal for the time being. Started decorating this wing just recently, and to do so, I plan on putting, I haven't done it yet, fill out the rest of this area with all the paintings. So this area is going to basically contain every painting. I started stacking cakes because you get cakes, you get a high enough level of excavating and cakes come out of sand. This was my end set of armor, which I got for the end, and now is on display here. So that's last but not least the inside. Very straightforward, just 4 wings, storage, farm, smeltery, and the expansion. So expansion's only right now not decorated, but functional. We have sugarcane to help with the rockets that I'm now making. I'm now making rockets en masse since we have recently gone to the end and got our wings. I always have, I never really use a lot of green dye, but I always have some in case anybody needs it. This is kind of like a clock to me. Based on how long the season goes and how long I'm in my base will depend on, like, you know, because these things really don't grow and break off all that fast, even with a 2x4. You really need a large area to collect any significant amount of cactus. So, you know, this fills up very slowly, and as you can see, I'm surprised even that there's as much as there is. But that's how much like there goes one right now. So shockingly enough, I just added one while we were sitting here talking and looking at it. This is like not these are 9 each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 9. I maybe might make them longer if this doesn't keep up the rates that it needs, because sugarcane's kind of a slow grower, and I might need to make them a little longer depending on the demand. You can see in the background here, this guy I've built around him, and I got to find a permanent home for him. In the meantime, Sal was from the advancement of taking, you know, taking a guy for a ride in the Nether. I haven't taken a ride with him in the overworld yet to get that advancement, so I have to figure that out, and then I'll put a place for him to live. My 2 allies, I have no idea what to do them. I got the cake advancement with this guy, and allies, I plan to do something with them, but I don't know. In the meantime, there's. And that's it. That is the grand tour of the base, and as you can tell, it's probably about time that we wrapped it up. So, that being said, we've now seen, you know, at least 2 items of what I've been up to so far. 3 items even, if I can count. 1, 2, 3. For what I've been up to all this time on ShrubSMP, Season 6. And, yeah. I think in the next video, I'm going to show you something that's just beyond this wall. As a matter of fact, we'll give you a little preview. If I walk out here, so yeah, in this cave that I built the Dark Castle 6.0 in, there is, you know, obviously we got the mine shaft. They go, you know, there's an exposed mine shaft here. There's mine shaft in the caves. There's mine shaft in that way. There's a lot of mine shaft around here. I have a spider farm just up. We may as well take a look at it since I'm over here. Made a quick spider farm right over here. There's several spawners, but this is the one that was kind of closest to the build, so I made a quick little spider collection system over here, just functionally. Again, if I ever have a few moments, it doesn't take long. That's a looting 3 sword with Bane 5 to kill those guys really fast, 1 shot, and we can collect the items quickly for string. But as a teaser, next time we will go into the hole. As you can see, you might be able to see what lies beyond. What lies beyond and down further. Yes, the deep dark. And where there's deep dark, there may be an ancient city. Spoiler alert, there is. Right down in that hole there. So that's deep dark. And down in that hole leads an ancient city. And that's where my main build is going to be. So while the Dark Castle in the past, seasons 1 through 5, has been my main build, a recreated, fully restored, and re-envisioned Deep Dark is where we go to next. And it's all right over my shoulder, right behind me. And we'll see that next time on ShrubSMP Season 6.